may soon be another way to protect yourself from COVID-19. According to preliminary results from phase 1 of a clinical trial, an experimental nasal vaccine provided strong protection against infection. Developed by a startup company called Blue Lake Biotechnology, the vaccine was found to reduce the risk of infection by nearly 90%. Researchers say they are hoping to begin the next phase of clinical trials soon.
One less poke? Sign me up. Joining us now to talk about this and more is Dr. Bill Hartman, principal investigator for the UW Health Pediatric Moderna COVID-19 vaccine trial. So what are your thoughts on this nasal spray?
Well, it's pretty exciting. The U.S. has been a little bit behind the times in developing these nasal vaccines. And so to have one homegrown of these next generation vaccines, I think is very, very exciting. This is what we need. This is what we've been hoping for, that there would be something that we could just get into the nasal passages to prevent that virus from ever having to get into your lungs or make you very sick. And the phase 1 trial of this actually was quite effective. They showed that it was 86% effective in reducing the chance of developing symptomatic COVID, compared to about 43% with our current boosters. And so that's a very exciting finding, at least in this phase 1 trial.
Very interesting. And you think it has to do with the fact that it's actually being administered in the nasal passage?
Right. And so there's some trickiness that's involved with that, because your nose obviously is able to discern between what is really harmful and what is moderately harmful. It can't attack everything that comes into your system. Otherwise, you would never breathe. And so this is using the mRNA vaccines as your primary series, then this is a booster, but the two of them together really can do a quick response so that it prevents the COVID virus from getting past your nasal passages into your lungs.
We'll see where these clinical trials go in that round. Well, the CDC, they just issued a health advisory because of the increase of a bacteria that causes stomach and gut issues. The issue here, though, is that this bacteria is resistant to drugs, right?
Right. So this is shigellosis, or caused by Shigella, which is a bacteria that causes a dehydration from diarrhea. Typically, it can be treated with azithromycin or ciprofloxacin, two common antibiotics, but this form of Shigella seems to be more antibiotic resistant, and so we don't have a good way to fight against this bacteria. So you have to be very vigilant. Make sure that you are always washing your hands. This is something that you can get through contaminated drinking water. Make sure that you're not drinking out of streams and things without having that water purified first.
Good reminders, yes. Well, let's chat about RSV really quickly before we let you go, because so many families dealt with it and had terrible bouts with it earlier this year and even last year. There is even more promising news now in terms of the vaccine.
Right. So RSV now has 2 vaccines that have been voted on by the advisory committee to the FDA to go to the next step to be voted on to whether or not they can be approved to be used in our oldest adults, who are the people that are most at risk of developing problems from RSV, those older adults and our young babies. But these older adults really can have problems if they contract RSV. They can't fight it off as well. And so having a vaccine or 2 vaccines now available to them would really be helpful in terms of preventing severe disease and hospitalizations from RSV.
Progress is a good thing. Dr. Bill Hartman, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.